Do you love The Lord of the Rings? Have you always wondered what it would be like to live as a dwarf? Maybe you've always wanted to go live in a cave and be left alone. Well then, Lord of the Rings Return to Moria might be for you. On the surface, Return to Moria is a fairly straightforward survival craft game. You collect resources to build bases as you progress through increasingly dangerous areas. Where this game distinguishes itself is in the story that it presents. The game presents a look into the rich lore of the dwarves of The Lord of the Rings. You aren't just presented with generic objectives. You're presented with a history of the area you are moving through, as you attempt to save both yourself and Moria.
What's wrong with it?
To that end, you have several tools at your disposal. There are the ever-present survival craft elements of gathering, cooking, and crafting to keep you alive, as well as base building to keep you safe. After a certain point, the game reveals a fast travel system that makes it much easier to invest in a more permanent base from which to launch ever deeper expeditions. Unfortunately, there are a few rough edges to the game. While the general combat mechanics aren't that bad, the odds often escalate quickly. It never matters how careful you are. You'll always find yourself surrounded and outnumbered at least 5 to 1. There are ways to manage this during most encounters, but things get dicier during base raids. Some of the enemies will focus on you, but others will ignore you and start destroying your base. This can be dealt with, but leads to taking a lot of extra risks during combat that you normally would want to avoid. Eventually, you can probably build up sufficient defenses, but it is just annoying earlier in the game. There are also many mechanics that the game never really explains, whether it's crafting recipes that don't unlock until you build an otherwise useless item, or not explaining what is needed to stop enemy camps from respawning. You have to take out the flag in the center of the camp. These are things the game doesn't explain, but makes playing the game a lot harder if you aren't aware of them. While general survival craft fans will likely enjoy Return to Moria for the story and flavor that the game adds to traditional mechanics, those who tend to avoid combat in their games will likely want to avoid this one. It would also be a good fit for those of you who love The Lord of the Rings and want to experience a bit of a different side of it. Piecing together the history of the dwarves and exploring their ruins provides a different way to look at those characters. Despite the combat issues, I would definitely recommend Return to Moria. I enjoyed playing it and will definitely keep pushing through the game to find out what other secrets it holds. I want to know what Moria holds for my character, as well as the rest of the dwarves in Middle-earth. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more review videos like this one. Until next time.